I'm really glad they released this because I was just translating all of it to English from the Chinese version, and they just released an English version of all their notes coming back from uh, the feedback given to all of the players in CN. So now it shows that they actually do care about the global market a little bit because they're sharing these same improvement notes with us. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this. We're going to read through all of them. I'm going to give you my feedback on a lot of the stuff here. And before we get into that, I want to go ahead and say they did confirm the PlayStation 5 version of the game. In the first video, the announcement trailer video of this whole thing, I said that it was coming to PC, mobile, and console. They hadn't announced which console it was for. It was kind of common sense that it was coming to PlayStation because of the fact that Xbox doesn't really have a presence in Asian countries. So a lot of people just didn't really anticipate the game coming to Xbox in the first place. But PlayStation went ahead and announced that this free-to-play open world RPG is coming to PlayStation 5. Not PS4 and PS5, just PlayStation 5, meaning that there's not going to be any bottlenecks from the previous generation. So anyway, we're going to hop back into this and let me know what you think of everything that you see here in the comment section below. I'm actually really excited for this, and the fact that the Perfect World team has been taking feedback from me, and I'm pretty sure you guys saw what Stick said earlier today that he's a part of providing feedback to the team as well. Like this is just going to be really good because they're openly listening to content creators, and that's really good. So yeah, let's get it popping. So they start off by saying, after the release of our announcement trailer and gameplay trailer, we received a lot of feedback from players worldwide, and we saw comments like, this design is exactly what I want, and this gameplay will definitely be fun, as well as longer suggestions saying that this part of design needs more refinement, and this design would be even better if done differently. All of this feedback is very valuable to us, and we appreciate every player who watched our announcement trailer and gameplay trailer. We also thank you for your attention and support for Neverness to Everness. We would like to take this opportunity to talk more about NTE and share some of our future plans with you. Now, I can already say they are very open to feedback. Before they even announced this stuff to you guys, we had been talking about the game, and they've been sharing stuff with me that was really cool. And dude, I just can't wait to see how they manifest all of this. Of course, I'm going to be nitpicking a lot of stuff because I want this to have its own identity. I don't want people to go into it and say, hey, this just looks like another Genshin. And we'll get into that a little later because this is very important to someone like me who pays attention to the small details. So we're going to move on to the next page, and this is where they talk about optimizations, UI, action system, and combat system. So let's start with optimizations. After watching the trailer, I'm very excited but also worried about the optimization using Unreal Engine 5. Will the game be well optimized, especially for mobile play? This is a very common concern because previous versions of Unreal Engine just wasn't good on mobile. You see, with Snowbreak, when the game launched, it played like crap on mobile with a lot of bugs. And the same thing when Wuthering Waves came out, despite it playing very well on PC, still had issues on PC, but it had more issues on mobile. And both of those games just happened to be on Unreal Engine. So it just makes sense that people would be concerned with the Unreal Engine aspect of the whole thing. And the answer to that question is, optimization for multi-platform play is a key focus for us. We have received your concerns about mobile adaptation. Rest assured, we'll do our best to ensure a smooth experience on mobile and cloud platforms, minimizing the quality gap with other platforms. Cloud platforms meaning like if they have something like NVIDIA, I forget what the NVIDIA cloud platform is, but you may be able to log in with that feature, that service, and play it that way if you're unable to play it on your actual device. And I see a common thing coming up where people are taking their old phones and expecting these games to run like it's a new phone, and they blame it on the optimization of the game. So I think it's good that they're introducing the cloud options for players who just don't have good enough phones to play these newer games. UI. Now, this is something I'm very passionate about, and here's why. Now, I talk about this openly with developers and people who play these games commonly, and I get the same brain dead response from a lot of people, and it's just, it makes no sense to me why people will want their game to look like other games. For example, here's Genshin Impact. Here is Wuthering Waves. Here is Neverness to Everness. Here is Arknight's Infield. And here is Azure Permelia. Do you see a common theme here? Everything looks like Genshin Impact. When you look at a new game and the first thing you think is this looks like insert game here, that immediately removes the identity from the game. And for me, identity is key to keeping that excitement going. I like looking at the UI and being like, this is dope. If anyone looks at my first reaction to Azure Premilia, when they go into the actual menus and they show what that looks like, I'm all over the place. When we go into the menus for Arknight's Infield, I'm all over the place. But I'm always bored of the UI when it comes to actually playing these games, because they all do the same thing. Map on the top right, all the characters on the right side, and menu options on the top right. And what people always say, this brain dead thing that people always say, is they have to keep it this way for mobile. No, they don't. It's the reason why they keep it that way is because another game already did it and it works. And when you dive into new ways to do things, you discover new things that other people might not have thought of. And guess what? Everyone saying this has not thought of that new way. And of course, they're going to stick to what they know. And I can assure you that a lot of the people who quit end up going to the game that it looks like. A lot of them go back to Genshin Impact, and that's why Genshin Impact to this day still makes sometimes over 100 million. You don't see many of these games doing that. And the reason of that is because Genshin, when it released, it created a feeling that captured a lot of the players and have them till this day. They go in, they see the characters, they fall in love with the characters. They fall in love with the world. They fall in love with the design. They fall in love with everything that Genshin is. And when you go to this new game, the first thing people think is, oh, this looks like Genshin Impact. Even though Wuthering Waves has a deader world, it's supposed to look dead because it's post-apocalyptic. The first thing you always see people say is, I want brighter colors. I want this and that, because, well, they've been accustomed to Genshin Impact already. And moving into these newer games, Wuthering Waves, that's a lot darker and a lot grittier. Of course, a lot of people like me like the dark and gritty stuff. But when they do stuff like this that just looks like Genshin Impact, that's, to me, a turnoff. I stay with Wuthering Waves because the combat's fire, but the UI is just ain't it for me. It just looks the same, except for the Forte gauge. This looks just like Genshin Impact to me. This looks like Genshin Impact to me, minus the 3D models difference in the artistic style. Like, the UI looks like Genshin Impact to me. This looks like Genshin Impact to me. And until a developer finally goes in and decides that we want to try and do something different and get feedback from players and just gives us various different UI styles, you can keep the same thing for mobile if you want to. If you want to say that it's down to not being able to figure out something that works on mobile, that's fine. But PC and console players don't have to suffer too. The UI doesn't seem to match the art style of the open world. It needs optimization. The developers actually agreed with me on this, by the way. We have feedback that the current UI does not match the game's tone. Comprehensive optimization of the UI system has been added to our list of improvements. Yeah, that's something that's very, very important to me, and I really hope that they figure out their own style as far as the UI. Action system. The action system still lacks polish, especially the running animation of Zero, which looks weird. We have seen a lot of feedback from players of lack of smoothness with character movements, such as running and getting in and out of vehicles. We have already started further polishing of details of the action system to bring everyone better exploration, a better exploration experience. Combat system. The biggest shortcomings of the trailers seems to be the combat. Targeting, interactions, and other aspects are lacking. I agree. For the same reason I don't like the UI, you didn't really show us what makes the combat system unique. It feels like another game. It was all the other aspects of the game that made everyone go, wow, this is dope. Like driving a car, customizing the car. The fact that we're gonna have an economy system where we can manage shops and we can build an economy through making money within various different cafes and properties that we own. All of that stuff is going to make the game fantastic and set it apart from the games that we've been playing. But combat system, eh. As a supernatural world, combat on Esper abilities and anomalies is a crucial aspect for us. We have received and carefully summarized your feedback on combat interactions, targeting, effects, and other optimizations suggested on the trailer. We are currently working hard on these optimizations, so rest assured. I really hope you guys are listening, because we don't want this to end up like Tower Fantasy. Credibility of the single take PV. I don't know what that means. The gameplay trailer promises a lot, but I want to know, can the game really be played seamlessly from start to finish? That's actually a really good question. We assure you that the current content that we've developed, including most of the gameplay showed in the trailer, can be experienced seamlessly. However, there are indeed a few story-driven gameplay segments that require loading screens. Objectively speaking, achieving 100% seamless loading presents various challenges in game development, but striving towards this goal and ensuring an uninterrupted, smooth gaming experience will always be top priority in our development process. That's a fantastic question. I don't know who in CN asked this question, but yeah, this was a good insight as to what you're trying to do with the game playing without loading anything. I didn't even actually notice this until I saw a comment in my comment section. Character design and model quality. Yeah, this is a concern for some players. In some aspects of the game, it looks very bright and very smooth, and in other ones, the characters kind of look off a little bit. The characters in the trailer didn't really appeal to me, and the models seem quite average. We received a lot of suggestions from players regarding character design and model quality, and we have taken them to heart. We are currently working on a series of optimizations for character rendering and design. We will also be introducing more new characters soon, and we welcome your continued valuable suggestions and feedback. I liked the characters, but I can agree, some of them in certain places look kind of off. Vehicle and housing systems. Okay, here we go. With the vehicle customization, there must be racing, right? Will there be online multiplayer gameplay? Yes. Rest assured, the urban open world gameplay of Neverness to Everness will not be limited to what's shown in the trailer. We can reveal a little bit, but both the vehicle and housing systems will have online multiplayer modes in future versions, and related UGC user generated content gameplay is already in the planning stages. Ooh, stay tuned. User generated content. I'm interested in that. I didn't know about that. Stories. I'm very interested in the open world gameplay, but story shouldn't be lacking, right? And a crucial question, can story be skipped? A lot of people aren't going to be playing the story if it's available to be skipped, but I understand a lot of people aren't in it for the story. Some people just want to play the game, so I understand having a skip button. To avoid spoilers, we'll keep the story details under wraps for now. However, we can assure you that the tone of the story is humorous, lighthearted, and whimsical. That's very good, because the feeling that I got from the trailer was fun, energetic, lighthearted, funny. Like I like the direction they're going with this. Just as defined in the game introduction, a lighthearted comedy. We aim to bring you an enjoyable, anomalous adventure. And as for the important question everyone is concerned about, rest assured, the story can be skipped. That's good for a lot of you. I'm gonna try my best not to skip. If the skip button's there, sometimes I just feel inclined to press it because I want to get to the gameplay. But me having a story, I like to participate in the story, and my ADHD doesn't allow me sometimes to focus on that specific thing. But I understand it. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. Test schedule. Yes, yes, yes. The first impression is great, but you won't go silent after releasing the trailer, right? Please don't make us wait forever. I have a bad feeling about this question. Regarding the next steps for the game, we actually included a small Easter egg in the announcement trailer, which many players have noticed. Neverness to Everness will make its first offline expedition appearance in September. Offline, meaning at TGS. Fuck. We look forward to meeting you soon and bringing more exciting content soon. Damn it. Open world settings. I noticed there was no combat in the city shown in the trailer, but does this mean all battles in the game are triggered in the inner world? About this question, you may have noticed from the game's introduction that this is a world where humans and supernatural beings are inseparable. The anomaly space shown in the trailer is just a specific rule set of that particular anomaly. There are many other anomalies with different rules that can be encountered and fought in the open world. Okay, that's cool. So it'll be a balance between both. Thank you for listening to us talk about so much. We have always hoped to bring some great ideas to life in the game, making NTE the game you want it to be. We'll also soon bring a version that you can experience firsthand. We welcome everyone to pre-register and follow NTE on all our social media to avoid missing out on updates and upcoming milestones. We look forward to seeing you again in September. It says offline exhibition. I can tell you that I've been pressing to find out about a beta or something, but I can't guarantee that we'll get one just because I've been pressing them about it. I'm actually very happy that there's some things that they're still keeping under wraps from me, but it's just, I want to be a part of the process so that I can make sure that it's a game that I will enjoy later. And that way I can share the experience with all of you guys and see what you guys think of things, what needs to be changed, what needs to stay. You guys know my style of review videos. I try to keep it balanced in a way where the developers know what they did right and what they did wrong, but I'm also trying my best to be as harsh as possible so they know that if they get these things wrong, it could move players away from their game. So I'm gonna try my best to see if we can get into something and play it. I believe the next thing will be at Tokyo Game Show. We all know that Hottest Studio is going to be at Tokyo Game Show this year, and that takes place in September. So I believe that that's what they're talking about with this offline exhibition, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm really excited for this game. I'll be covering it as much as possible. Coming to PlayStation 5, that's a good for a lot of people. It'll be available on PC, mobile as well. Yeah, love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay chaotic. Peace out.